Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Ref the District. I'm Nathan Perry. That's the Stoner, and that is Trev up there. For some reason, we don't have our graphics, so I'm fixing that right as we speak. Of course, we do this live every Wednesday, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. You can catch it right afterwards on your favorite audio platforms. We're sponsored by Pacers Running. For every run, they've got you covered. Get all your running gear from them, all your feet wear will thank you when you, or your feet will thank you when you buy your feet wear from Pacers Running. Head out to Skybar in Lexington, Virginia. See our man Trev in person, and he will absolutely take care of you. Mention Ref the District, and you know what? Your first drink's on us. Yeah. If you mention Ref the District.
Has anybody done that yet, Trev?
No, not yet.
Yeah, you got to take. You can get a free drink. You just say Ref the District, and you're good to go. Of course, we're also sponsored by Manscaped. Get out to manscaped.com. Use the code REF. You can get 20% off your purchase and free shipping. That's R as in ref, E as in F, and F as in F at manscaped.com. If you want to support the show, obviously, we always have our super chat open as well. You can do that, or you can go to our store and just, we put the items as cheaply as we can, and you can get some stuff there. Stoner's got one thing on him and a couple of things behind him. I got one of the shirts, one of our first shirts, hashtag just a fan there. And then I've got a new one, in a couple weeks, gentlemen, it's going to be the blackout game at Minnesota. Mm-hmm. Right. And there's just something in our store that I feel is perfect for that. And that is our new Keep That Same Energy line of wear here. Obviously 93 there. It's got Be a Fan. It's got the Ref logo on the back.
Old school Ref logo. Kind of new schoolish, but old school.
No, this is the new school Ref.
Yeah, but this is like the new school.
Oh, okay. That's the full logo. Yeah, that's just the Ref there. So absolutely worth it. The hoodies, by the way, super comfortable. Oh, absolutely love the hoodies.
And I got this straight off of NFLshop.com. Commanders. Good old $32 for a long sleeve shirt is awesome. It's Nike, but hey, if you're a fan, you spend whatever it takes to support. So. Might be the only thing I get from them again, but hey.
We'll see. We definitely have a good show for you today.
Thanks for putting money in Dan's pocket, Trev.
Going to start that argument already. We will be talking about the Snyder situation here in the warm-up. And the cool-down, though, we will be doing some a Wizards update. During the game, we're going to be previewing the Green Bay Washington game. We got the injury report for you. And with that game preview, we actually have Jacob Westendorf from the Green Bay side of things to give us the lowdown on what's happening with the Pack. Things haven't been so hot for them. So it'll be interesting to see what he has to tell us, what's going on with Rodgers and company. And then here in the warm-up, like I said, we'll be talking the Snyder situation, Heinicke or Howell. We've not gotten Trev's input on that. William Jackson third, trade, no trade. And we're going to wrap up that Chicago victory because, again, Trev didn't get a chance. You guys keep moving around on us. Let's get to the comments real quick. We have Yam, Gus Bus, Doug, DMV Mess Hall in the house, Rail, Steady Eddie, Mike, Scotty. Yep, that looks like that's who we got there. If you're in the chat, always make sure that you let us know. We love interacting with our chat as we go along. Appreciate you jumping in here. Stoner might be distracted today, and that's because we got some Washington games going on. Did he turn off his TV? He's turned off his TV.
All right, good. By the whiz over here.
Mine's on.
Good.
You do this, Trev. Don't give anything away. Okay, because I'm going to watch it as soon as we're done here. I'm going to go and I'm going to watch the whole thing from the start.
All right, well, season's over already. I'll just tell you that.
All right. Well, let's get into the topic here. Trev, you weren't available. Obviously, you're manning Skybar on Friday when we had our day after reckoning. Yeah. So why don't you talk to us about that Chicago victory that happened on Thursday? I know it feels like a lifetime ago, but what are your thoughts after that game?
Oh, man. I had it on at the bar so I could watch as much as I could, but it just seems like we couldn't really move the ball very well. We had a hard time scoring. I mean, we won 12-7. Joey Slide missed the extra point, maybe something like that.
No, we went for 2. Gosh, I can't even remember. So we had the touchdown.
Yeah, we went for 2. So we had 2 field goals. We had 6 points. Yeah, they had scored their touchdown, so it was 7-6.
That's right.
Then we scored the touchdown and went for 2 to try to make it 14-7,
and didn't get it.
And didn't make the 2.
And
surprise! Washington was unable to punch it in from the 2-yard line.
Yeah, and then Carson Wentz injures his finger there, finishes the game. Hats off to him. I mean, a lot of people don't do that, so that's very tough by him. But that's led to the quarterback controversy that we have now. Quotes that we'll get into in a minute. But once again, we escaped that one. Probably should have lost that one. Thank God Justin Fields is not as good as we thought he is right now. He's having a hard time over there in Chicago. A couple of throws that were wide open, lack thereof of our defense. So we escaped out of Chicago with a win. I'm glad we got it done. So now it's on the Green Bay.
In the end, it's a W in the books. We might have gotten lucky. It might have been ugly, but it was still a W. A merry W.
Just a little update on our community poll, right? So one of the questions was, would you rather win ugly against the Bears, or would you rather just lose on a last-second TD because you didn't deserve to win? Right? So 86% says a dub is a dub. Which that's out of 774 votes. So that's a pretty good sample size. So I just, you were kind of leaning there towards like we didn't deserve the win. So it's, but a dub's a dub, right? You'll take them anyway, especially nowadays. Take them any way you can get them.
Yeah, I mean, we really are just a failed conversion at the 2-yard line away from 3-3. I know a lot of people like to flip that and say we're a couple passes away from 0-6, but like I said, the ball bounces and you got to take them where you can get them. And right now, at least in Chicago, the ball bounced our way quite literally on a muffed punt there.
Yes.
And Washington is the victor, so we'll take it. And that's the important part. However, you kind of mentioned another part in there. It was Carson Wentz's injury.
Yeah.
He now will be out. It looks like at least 4 weeks. The team has not put him on IR just yet. That's still being decided on whether or not that's going to happen. So now it's down to Heinicke, who's going to get the start against Green Bay, he does have some experience with them from last year. But Trev, where do you land in the debate? If you were the GM, what are you doing? Are you going with Heinicke like they are? Or are you going to go with Sam Howell?
I'm going with Taylor Heinicke. I mean, as much as it hates and pains me in my soul, my fanship to say that. Hold on. I'll go with Heinicke just because he's been here for the past 2-3 years, whatever. He knows the system. He has rattled off some wins. He has done some things that we didn't think he was capable of doing. He kept us in the game against Tampa Bay. That's what got his career started, if you want to say. But I mean, because Sam Howell, I love him. He's just a Taylor Heinicke 2.0. I mean, he can scramble. He's got a better arm. He's got a cannon of an arm. He just doesn't know the offense yet. I mean, I don't think he would know. He should know the offense yet. It really wasn't coming out in reports preseason or offseason saying that he's really, really smart and grasping the offense super quick and could be a day one or start if he had to. You never heard that, so it's not expected for that to happen. So let's go ahead and roll with number 4 and see what he can do.
Yeah, I'm very shocked to hear you say that. We had our Howell versus Heinicke debate with Stoner and I. I was playing devil's advocate because we're all three on the same boat here. Heinicke is the right play.
Yeah.
I did nearly convince myself, though, Trev. I nearly convinced myself to start Howell in all that arguments. And some of the arguments they had are kind of that live arm and the fact that, you see players like Zapp who are seeing success. I brought up Minshew during the debate as well. Why, outside of Heinicke knowing the system, why don't you just throw the rookie out there and see what he can bring?
Well, because it's still too early for that, I think, in my opinion. I think the next 4 games that we have are winnable games. I really do think they are winnable, no matter if it's Wentz or Taylor Heinicke, just because we have more weapons and our defense is looking like it's starting to come along on strong now. So, I mean, you don't want to throw in a rookie right now that hasn't proven anything outside of preseason. Yeah, he balled in preseason, but that was against people who don't have a job today, probably. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like, I mean, I understand he has the intangibles he does have the arm. Taylor does not. But also, we haven't really seen Taylor. I mean, he's been in the system a few years. Maybe he's improved. I can't believe I'm saying that. I think I'm getting sick over here by saying this, but I'm just thinking, being realistic. You never know. So, I mean, he has shown in the past he has connections with Terry. He can connect with McKissick if he has to. You know, other receivers are gone, or Cam Sims isn't playing much. So, yeah, let's go with Taylor Heinicke. Let Sam Howell rest. Now, if it was like, we were 2-8, playoffs are out of the window for sure. Like, there's no matter what, even if the math rolls the way that we, go ahead and throw Howell in then if we're like 2-8, 2-9, something like that. But we're for sure not making the postseason. But we're 2-4. The next 4 are winnable. If we win 4 in a row, we're 6-4, and then Carson comes back and see what happens after that. So
if you're winning 4 in a row, Carson can just keep his ass on the bench.
I was about to say,
you got to go with the hot.
We might have a Dallas Cowboy conversation about that because remember, $28 million.
Yeah.
Cooper Rush versus
I mean, I've already thought about that too, Stoner. I have thought about that.
If they're 4-0 because of Taylor Heinicke, then I think you got to roll with him. If they're 4-0 in spite of Taylor Heinicke, like the defense is carrying them,
right?
And the rushing, they just start running the ball real well, like they did in their 4-game winning streak last year. It was all because of the rushing attack mostly. Then I can see bringing Carson back. But if they're 4-0 because Heinicke's out there making plays and running all over the place, and the team is just fired up behind them, you gotta.
I don't even know if it needs to be making plays, to be honest. Let me go to Eric here real quick, who likes the man with the heart and gave us a $4.99 donation. Appreciate you, Eric, for this one. He says, I like the Tin Man, like I said, likes the guy with heart, and that is Taylor Heinicke. And I think it's more than just about making plays. Like, there's going to be a couple razzle-dazzle runs and stuff that he's going to provide. He's not going to provide those 75-yard bombs like we saw with Carson Wentz. But if this offense, and we tweeted about this too, right? This offense with Carson Wentz, albeit he's been banged up for a few of these games, has been scoring 17 points per game. Right. It's a long time since those first 2 games where we were scoring 27 points. Now we're scoring 17 over the course of 6 games. If Taylor Heinicke in the next 4 games can, bring this offense some consistency with those victories, that's what's going to be important, because they're going to want that consistency, and they'll have Wentz sit for longer. They'll put it on the injury as if he's not ready to come back, and then it'll eventually leak, and then people will be mad at the media for trying to ruin a good thing what this team has, and it'll just be the whole Washington cycle all over again. But first, we got to get those dubs. That's what's important. But I would like to see some consistency with this offense, because we've been sorely lacking that all season long.
Again, on the community channel, we put up a poll there also. If Carson Wentz can't go against the Packers, and this was when we first heard about the injury, who do you want to start? And out of 886 votes, Heinicke got 60% of the vote. A little closer than I kind of expected it, but 40% of the people who responded to this poll would like to see Howell out there. It's too early. As someone way smarter and way more informed than us tweeted out, said there is a wide gap between Heinicke and Howell right now.
Oh, for sure.
It's just the way it is. He's not ready. His footwork's not ready. His understanding of the offense is not there. His experience is not, all of that stuff. We're going to see Howell, probably. More than likely, we're going to see him this year. Let's just wait until we have to see him.
We're not.
We're going to see him. There will be 3 quarterbacks at least that play this year. And then you know what's going to happen? Ron Rivera is going to go into Dan Snyder's office when they finish 6-11, and Dan Snyder's going to say, give me a reason not to fire you. And he's going to say, I need a quarterback. I haven't had a quarterback.
No, he won't say I need a quarterback. It'll just be quarterback. He's just going to say quarterback. Just quarterback.
Yeah. And he's going to have that built-in excuse. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So,
well, like I said, I think my hot take on that is that if we finish 6-11, Ron Rivera, he retires for health reasons or parts from the team and whatnot.
Yeah, sure. That might happen.
That's likely what happens. I'm with you, Trev, that I don't think that we necessarily see how it's going to be depending on where we go, but I would not take that bet if someone put it out there. Yam, the community channel, if you're make sure you subscribe to the channel, but you'll see it regardless. If you go to our page, there's a little tab there, and we put out polls, we put out graphics and stuff for our people to kind of interact with
on our YouTube channel.
Yep, on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, YouTube.
Yep, YouTube.
All right. Well, why?
Why what?
Cooper, I don't know. We'll get to it about so it would take us to go 4-0 in order for Taylor to stay starting quarterback, right?
I think so.
I didn't necessarily say that. I said, like I said, I think 3-1. I mean, Paul here with Taylor Heinicke is better than people give him credit for. No one could have won games last year with all the injuries we had on both sides of the ball. Not even Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. A little overboard there, Paul. But
you went a little too far there.
A little bit.
You had me for a minute, and then you just
if he goes 3-3, or sorry, 3-1 in those 4 games, and again the offense is consistent, I think they're going to stick with Howell because of the consistency. It doesn't have to be a straight Heinicke. Sorry, it doesn't have to be a 4 game win streak. They would like that, and that would absolutely tip it in the favor. But I think that if you bring a consistent an offense there, and I'm not talking. Don't give me garbage time points to bring the game back into, like, if they're 2-2 and they've been scoring 30 points, but if 20 of those points are coming in the late third and fourth quarters that they're trying to make back because somehow the defense gave up 45 points, that's just not going to cut it. I want to see consistent progress with the offense. We'll see what we get out of that. So on the defensive side of the ball, after we finish talking about the offense here, the defensive side of the ball, William Jackson III comes out and says he did not ask for a trade. What do you make of that, Trev? Because there was a big much ado about nothing apparently on Thursday, where he said that he did want to trade, or at least reports came out, and it looks like Washington did want to ship him, and now he's coming out and saying, I don't want to trade.
Yeah,
I don't think he said I don't want to trade. He said I didn't ask for a trade.
Fair enough.
That's
the words matter. Words matter. You're absolutely right.
I mean, it is. I mean, he's hurt anyway, so it's not like we would.
Yeah, he's still out with a.
I mean, maybe he didn't say it, and if he didn't say it, then hats off to him for not saying it. If he didn't say it, that's where I'm at with William Jackson right now. I mean, it's apparent that we're not going to change the defensive scheme. We're not going to change the defensive coordinator mid-season, so. He just doesn't fit in the system that we're trying to run, which just baffles me why we even went and got him in the first place, because we wouldn't have to be dealing with this drama and soap opera right now. Is he hurt? Does he not want to play? Is he faking it because he just doesn't want to play for us? Does he want to be traded? Does he not want to be traded? That's where I'm at with William Jackson. It's sad because I was hyped when we first got him. It was so hyped, but he just doesn't fit our system, and I hate to say it, but he doesn't, so it is what it is.
System or coaching or whatever it is, he was not playing well. So him not being out there, I don't think we're gonna really miss him. No. Now you're gonna watch Wild Goose. What number is Wild Goose? 37. Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of the back of his jersey. Yeah. Wild Goose, against some of these better teams.
He had a good game against the Bears.
Bears.
Justin Fields. Okay.
You play against who's on your schedule.
I know. So I'm saying, great, that's fine.
We got Aaron Rodgers.
Now let's see him against Aaron Rodgers and old fossil Matt Ryan and Kirk Cousins and the Philadelphia receivers and all of that. You're going to see a lot of the back of Wild Goose's jersey. There's a reason. I'll always say this. There is a reason he was available for anybody to pick him up at the end of training camp. He's a Jag. And we're going to see that. But it's not going to be, like I said, it's not really going to be any different than William Jackson. William Jackson wasn't playing well. We saw the back of his jersey all the time, too.
Or he was on the ground. Either one.
He was interfering.
Don't you have to, talk to the defensive coaches and staff before you sign to see if you will like fit? Don't you have that conversation?
Trev, if you put in front of me, you put $60 million
before that, like they come to you and say, we're interested. Why? We think you can fit this. Okay, what are you offering? And then the offer comes. So if that case, don't they talk about?
I'm sure they do.
Obviously, they do the research and they watch the tape and they see what they're capable of. And this is a problem with everybody, right? Like they're going to think that their system is teachable, or it's plug and play. We've heard that before, and that anybody can just come in and they can get them right. And if you have a caliber that was William Jackson III prior to coming to Washington, it's one of those things that you can get there. I'm gonna do this $1 one from our friend, our Green Bay loving friend here, $1.99 from John Archcat. We appreciate you, my man, for jumping in here. Even though he's a Pack fan, he does say, "I hope you guys smoke the Pack this weekend."
Yeah, he's like us with Washington. Sometimes we just hope our team just gets smoked because we don't deserve to win. That's how he is with Green Bay.
Never cheer for a loss.
I mean, I know you're right, but sometimes we just get that. Oh, I hope we get smoked this week.
Eric gave us another $4.99 here. Says Washington finishes 6-11. Dallas and the rest of the NFC East make the playoffs. Will Sean Payton come to the Commanders? Is that
no one's coming here until the man who was in the news today and yesterday and the past however long is gone. That's all I'm saying.
Well, somebody has to.
Well, he's not. He can't be gone until after this year is over anyway. So we got time. We can start researching coaching candidates
again,
now.
You offer Sean Payton $12 million a year, he'll come. I promise you that. And you offer him $13 million a year, he'll be on the first plane.
How we gonna have that if Dan Snyder's gone? He got all the money.
Unfortunately, I think you're probably going to have to offer that kind of money to a no-name coach who's going just wants to get their chance.
I want Ken Dorsey.
Maybe that's not a no-name, but I mean,
you know who I want.
You have to,
and I don't mind Ken Dorsey. You know who I want?
What's his name?
Shane Waldron.
Shane Waldron.
That's Seattle. Right. OC out in Seattle. I'll take it. Look at what he's done with Geno, man. He's turned him into a superstar.
Well, it's early.
Still early. The team's not 6-11 right now. They are 2-4. But Trev, you brought up a good point with the dark cloud that continues to be over this Washington franchise. Dan Snyder back in the news. Some fireballs just absolutely coming out. We got Irsay, saying, yeah, we can get to 24. And Goodell was just like, he said he wasn't shocked that Irsay said those comments. Then he kind of backed up and said, we shouldn't be doing that. We should let the Mary Jo White situation play out. You have Jerry Jones, who last week had said something to the effect of like he didn't really back Dan Snyder, and now this week he's saying it's not a Snyder problem, it's a media problem, which is, I don't even know what that means.
I don't know what it means either, but it's kind of an endorsement a little bit.
The media is taking this and making it their own.
Making it big.
Yeah. Well, good for Jerry Jones for going deep into the political playbook there to go with fake news.
He went up Bob Kraft yesterday too. He said, "Don't F with me, Bob."
yeah.
So, what, Stoner? Why don't we start with you, because you're the one who you often say, and you're right, that this isn't moving. Dan Snyder's not going to be forced to sell. You last week started feeling like it was the tipping point, like we were going to get there. Where are you now on the situation with Irsay's comments? There seems to be more kind of urgency from Dan Snyder and his lawyers to get their side out. And, they have some really just poor excuses for statements that they've been sharing with the public of like what that ESPN article was false. Okay. But you're not providing us anything of substance outside of just saying,
nor should they. They shouldn't have to answer to every little thing that comes out in the media. They just say it's all lies. That's good public relations. You don't have to go down point by point, and because then you get another report. You got to do point by point for that. But yeah, I've been a skeptic forever on this thing because none of this stuff really moves the needle as far as forcing Dan to sell. The needle is moving. This is by far the most momentum that this whole get rid of Dan has ever had. Mm-hmm. There has never been an owner, and I don't care what this particular owner's skeletons are, or they're not even skeletons, they're out in the open. Yeah. It doesn't matter. He's an owner of an NFL team. He's a voter if you are trying to get somebody out. And he is publicly stating that he believes when the report comes out, which tells me he knows a little something that's going on in that's going to be in that report. He's not just going to say that. He's saying that if this report comes out, we have to get rid of him. He said we have to make him sell the team and not to his wife, because somebody asked him specifically, well, what if he just signs it over to his wife? And they said, no, he has to get out of the NFL, him and his family. Those are monster statements. Whether or not that happens, we'll see. But this Mary Jo White investigation is going to be huge in terms of what they're investigating. The whole thing came about when the young lady sat at that round table and she said, and I can't remember her name, and I apologize for not remembering her name, but she said, Dan Snyder, not some guy, not some executive of the team, not like a Larry Michael or, somebody who's no longer with the team. She said, Dan Snyder forced her into the limo.
Oh yeah, was that true? What's her name?
And yeah, I'm sorry, I can't remember her name.
Maybe.
I don't think it was Melanie.
It wasn't Melanie. I don't think Melanie is the one that made those particular.
Not that particular one. It was
to Melanie.
We did talk to Melanie,
so
and that's why I'm saying it wasn't Melanie. It was someone else.
But the committee heard that and said, you all need to investigate that. And the NFL said, we need to investigate that. So this is something directly against Dan. If something comes out to where it was proven that he did that, then that's a whole new ballgame. That's a direct accusation proven against an owner himself. And the other owners are not going to stand for that, especially if he's over here at the bottom of the league and all the revenues and he's not doing anything good and he's always making them look bad as an organization, as their good old boys club. The momentum is real. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but this is different than all those other things. This is different.
Thank you, Ben, for this one. It was Tiffany Johnston.
Tiffany Johnston. Beautiful. Nice job, Ben. That's exactly right. Yeah, so this is different. I'm sorry. This one's different. I'm not at the point where I'm going to say he's going to get forced out, but I'm at the point where I'm saying this is different, and the owners are tired of talking about it. I can promise you that.
And I also pay attention about how and when he said it. Like, he could have easily tweeted this a long time ago. He could have easily, dropped a hint here, dropped a hint there. But it came out that they were not going to really discuss Dan Snyder in the meetings than they were later on after the initial meeting happened. And then you have Irsay, who is a well-known, like you said, owner and prominent person in the NFL. Yeah, he has skeletons, but they were kind of personal. It wasn't really affecting his environment of the workplace or anything like that. It was just his own personal thing that he was going through. So he said, come after me. And then when he had a chance to put it out there, he did it. It wasn't for publicity. It wasn't for, clout. He did it. And the words he said are very powerful. So I agree with you, Stoner. I think the needle is moving. I don't know if it'll happen, but this is definitely in that direction that it could definitely happen.
And again, it wasn't one of those like little flippant remarks or something passing by a reporter. He held court for 13 minutes.
Exactly.
People asking him questions to clarify.
Yeah.
Make sure. Whoa, are you really saying this?
It's a big thing for an owner to kind of come after another owner like that. Mm-hmm. And what I know, a lot of people say that, we're saying that he loves the camera and there's all this other stuff. Here's the thing: is it's been overwhelmingly positive outside of the owners publicly, people have been, praising him for this. This isn't something that man gets a lot of. No. And so I have a feeling he's going to keep coming to the well. He might have been the guy just that they kind of put their feelers out to see where it goes. But I don't think they needed to do that. The NFL did not need to do that because they know Dan Snyder's not well loved. No. But it is going to be interesting. And Gus Bus, they bring up Jerry Jones' alleged sexual assault there. He asks, do you think the owners try for a 2-for-1, take out Dan and Jerry, especially since both are dealing with sexual misconduct, assault scandals? That would be something.
Here's the difference with Jerry Jones.
Jerry ain't going nowhere.
Jerry Jones
brings money.
Makes way too much money for those other owners.
He is.
He's the one behind a lot of these television deals. Yeah. He's the one behind a lot of these different ads with like Coca-Cola. He's the one with the 100,000 seat stadium. He's the one that can go to LA and play the Rams and have 40,000 Cowboys fans.
He's the one that can look Bob Kraft and say, "Don't F with me, Bob."
That's right. Jerry Jones will never go anywhere unless he gets arrested.
And also,
they've had plenty of dirt on him for a while.
Sure. I mean, they had just about at the beginning of this season, or was it this off season where they had a different kind of scandal involved?
Mm-hmm.
So Pat McAfee on his show today, Ian Rappaport went on there. He also knows Rap Sheet on Twitter. For those everybody's on Twitter, said the next big meeting is in December, to where the possible voting could happen if that were to lead to that. But he thinks that it's more so that the owners, they don't want to go to a vote because the owners don't want to, put themselves into this situation to where they could be, whatever. They rather just have him force and sell rather than have him be voted out. So, and it's quite interesting that no other owner has come out yet to back up and take up for Dan, saying, whatever Jim said was wrong. He doesn't speak for all of us owners. No one has said that yet, which is another very interesting thing. JP Finley pointed that out too. So I think that's kind of interesting.
It is an interesting fact. You know what's also interesting to me is the report, ESPN report, said that Dan Snyder has a file on every single owner in the NFL. Mm-hmm. How does that work with Green Bay being owned by their fans? I really wonder that. But you know what I wonder more about? I wonder about this Green Bay game that's coming up here for Washington. Let's get to the game. We have Jacob Westendorf coming on with us, and he will be bringing that heat from the Green Bay side. Stick around for the game here on Ref the District.
The game is brought to you by Pacers Running Stores. Pacers has 5 stores in Northern Virginia and DC. For the best running footwear, apparel, and gear, just stop by or schedule a virtual fitting with the best running experts in the business. Pacers Running exists to help as many people as possible through running. For every run, it's Pacers Running.
You can check out Pacers Running online or in person in one of their 5 stores in Northern Virginia or DC. Great people. You're going to take care of your feet, get you up and actually running. Stoner, you yourself have just started running again.
Yep.
After the first time in how many years?
2. or since the pandemic. Yeah, I stopped running because I used to run every day when I go into work, but stopped running during the pandemic, but I'm back on it, baby. 6 miles today. Let's go.
Let's go. And let's go to this game here. Green Bay visiting Washington this weekend. And like I said, we got our man, Jacob Westendorf, joining us here on Ref the District. Appreciate you coming in. Make you the big screen here for us.
Yeah, big screen Billy.
Hey, we like that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
what's up, Jacob? Treatment. How you doing, buddy?
Well, after Sunday, I'm not doing all that well, but I can't figure out what's going on with this Packers team. And after watching the Thursday night game between the Commanders and the Bears, I was like, well, we can't be that bad, right? And then Sunday, it was a rough go on Sunday
you guys
at home.
10 points.
Yeah. And the one touchdown that they got was like a miracle ball that Allen was like, it was just everything on offense is just so hard for them. And it was Lazard catching a jump ball in the back corner of the end zone to his back shoulder. And nothing comes easy for this Packers offense, I tell you.
Now, you said that you don't really know what's going on, but I mean, if you tried to pinpoint it, are you going to go with LaFleur? Are you going to go with Rodgers, the lack of Devontae Adams, or where is it that the problem is for Green Bay right now that's giving some of us Washington fans a little hope that this is a winnable game?
Yeah, it's a snowball effect. It's all of it. The offensive line is much worse than it was a year ago, and everything starts up front. You know, they're reintegrating David Bakhtiari after him having missed basically 2 full seasons, or a full season and a playoff run. You've got Elton Jenkins playing tackle. He might be better suited to play guard. You've got John Runyon, who struggled. Josh Myers, who a lot of people think is a solid player, but he's a second-year player that only played like 6 games last year, so it's kind of been up and down for him. And Royce Newman is a turnstile. Like, I don't even know what else to explain for that guy. He was an okay starter for them last year, but he has really, really struggled for this team this year. And if Washington wants to find a matchup, it's those guards or that interior with that front that you guys have that is very, very good in Washington. One of the reasons I thought it might be a formidable foe in the NFC East is because of that front, obviously missing Chase Young at this point. But the rest of it, I mean, the Adams thing is an easy thing to point to. Packer fans, the optimist view was like, oh, well, Aaron Rodgers will have to spread the ball around now and he'll be able to, throw to these different guys. And the reality is Romeo Doubs looks like a nice player, or at least he might be in, someday. He looks like a nice player. Alan Lazard is a very nice, like, value type player. Randall Cobb's not going to play this weekend, but he's had a nice start to the year. And they don't have that guy who, like, it's 3rd and 7 and we need a guy to get the drive started or keep the drive alive. That's what Adams had been for so many years. And they don't have a guy like that right now. So, and then to top it all off, the quarterback who they gave $50 million to this offseason is playing like Carson Wentz for lack of
easy killer.
I mean,
no, we're just playing.
It's not a good situation right now for anybody on offense. LaFleur has struggled to adjust to the personnel that they have. Rodgers obviously has autonomy at the line of scrimmage. Their best players were supposed to be their 2 running backs, and Aaron Jones has looked that part. A.J. Dillon has not. He looks like somebody who's running in cement. So that's been a struggle for them as well. They just don't have anybody that it's like, hey, we flip the ball to them, and they know that they're going to get him, 7, 8, 9 yards on a play. They don't create anything. They don't make any plays after the catch. And like I said, if you look at all of their touchdowns this year, a vast majority of them are just really difficult or came with, like, it was just like pulling teeth to get their way down the field. There was some stat a few weeks ago about how they're like 2nd in the league in explosives. And it really is misleading because a lot of those explosives were like, oh, they dumped the ball to a guy and he didn't have anywhere near him. So he ran for 12 yards, but the ball traveled 5 in the air and they just kind of found, or they made like 2 or 3 in garbage time against Minnesota in week 1. Like, they just don't have the big plays down the field, and they don't have the plays that Devontae Adams used to make for them in the middle of the field. So it's a lot, and it's a lot of issues, and then they can't block anybody. So you add all that together, you have a really bad offense, and that's what Green Bay's been so far to start the season.
Hey, Trev, something just moved in my pants. I like what I'm hearing. I like everything I'm hearing right now. I love this. No, we did want to – you touched on the whole Aaron Rodgers thing, and I just want to know, we've been in Washington fans for a long time here, and we've gone through 76 different quarterbacks in the last 30 years. You had 2. Mm-hmm. Can you kind of tell us what it's like to every year go into the season and say, well, let's go get a receiver, or let's go get a lineman, or, and never have to worry about a quarterback? What's that like?
Yeah, I'm 31 years old, so my life, it literally is Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. That is it. And yeah, every other fan base says it all the time. Oh, you're spoiled. And I always tell them, yes, I am. And I understand that. And I know that because then, I live in Illinois. So Chicago in that same time frame has started like 30 something quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And I say to them all the time, like, I understand why you guys want Justin Fields to be so good, so bad, even though he doesn't look like he's very good. Maybe that'll change in the near future, but you have to talk yourself into it because they have no, like, the greatest quarterback that they've had in my lifetime is Jay Cutler. No disrespect to Smoke and Jay, but that's not exactly
a bit of a step down.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So when you've got these guys that kind of just come in and, they are whatever, then you just kind of sit back and are like, there was a tweet I remember, it was in like 2012. I think the Chiefs were starting Tyler Palko and BJ Raji, who then tweeted out, "Thank God for Aaron. Oh my God," because Palko just was terrible. And I think they were playing Chicago, who was starting Caleb Haney in that game. So it was like two really bad quarterbacks. But of course, again, it's a fortune. I've lived a very fortunate life, and I made the joke that, you know what, Jordan Love is going to take over next year and start the next era of the next 15 years of one Super Bowl title and 15 years of really good quarterback play. I don't actually think that's going to happen, but it would be pretty sick.
Yeah. Well, we would continue to be jealous if that's the case there. I can't believe you're a fib, man.
Oh yeah. And that's I went to school in Green Bay. And that's what all my friends called me, was fib or fibwab, which is the same thing, but with a boat. Although I don't have a boat, so I don't know why they would call me that.
For the uninitiated, that's an effing Illinois bastard. I don't know why I censored one and not the other, but it is what it is there. Now, this is something from our friends over there, Authentic and the Beard. Appreciate them jumping in here. You mentioned the lack of explosive plays and stuff. Washington has been giving up an average of 5 or more plays of 20-plus yard games. Are you looking forward? I know you kind of talked about the weakness for your offense being that interior line. We have a couple, monsters up front. One of them is that guy right there, Jonathan Allen. But are you looking to kind of exploit this Washington defense's the back seven that's kind of struggled at times?
If they could protect, yeah, that's the catch-22, right? You guys might remember years ago, the New York Giants, when they won their titles, not exactly the greatest of secondaries, but they had those dudes up front with 4. The Philadelphia Eagles, when they won their Super Bowl, very similar that way. That's kind of the formula it looks like Washington is trying to implement. But the problem is when they do get blocked, like my guy mentioned, 5 or more plays of 20-plus yards a game, when they do get blocked, it sounds like they're not holding up at all. I mean, this isn't the day. I think somebody has a Sean Taylor towel behind their head. Like, that's not the days of Sean Taylor running back there where I remember in 2007, it was Favre's last year there, and Favre tried to hit a deep ball, and he thought he had it. Not many people could cover up a hole like if Favre was trying to hit one. And Taylor had 2 picks in that game. He was the best player on the field. And I was like, this dude is special. Unfortunately, obviously, that situation happened with him. But it's not that way with those guys anymore. They are really struggling to cover things up. So if Green Bay can block them, there's opportunities in that game. There may be some shuffling on the offensive line this week. LaFleur hinted that, maybe he said everything's on the table. Now, coaches say that all the time. But this guy here is saying bringing blitzes. The Packers really struggled with stunts, twists, and they're not like overly complicated ones. Robert Saleh this weekend against the Jets, they were running really basic twists, really basic stunts, and like not really the most exotic blitzes. And they were getting home. Like Rodgers was under duress quite a bit throughout the course of the game. He hasn't been good when he is protected. He's even worse when he's not protected so far this year. So I am looking forward to it. I guess the question is, can they block those guys? And I just don't know. I haven't seen anything this year that suggests any good front they faced, they've struggled with. And that's even with Bakhtiari back in the lineup.
So it's come out that Aaron Rodgers is supposedly saying that he wants the offense more simpler or simplified. So where is this disconnect coming from where the offense is struggling so bad? Because like we've seen it where he started off maybe the first 2 games kind of slow. We're like, and then he turns on like that. But it's been 6 games already, and they're 2-4, I think. Or is that your record too?
They're 3-3.
3-3. They'll be 3-4 after this weekend.
Where is the disconnect, and is that true? Something like, does that hold water, the whole simplifying offense thing?
Yeah, so one of the questions I got asked shortly after that was about pre-snap motion, which is like a staple of, you guys have seen it when Robert Griffin was the quarterback with like Kyle Shanahan, and they were running the Shanahan offense. That was a big part of the things that they were doing, and Rodgers famously doesn't like stuff like that. He grew up in the West Coast offense with, Mike McCarthy being here for as many years as he was, and that's the offense that he likes, where he has 1-by-1 or 1-by-3, 2-by-2 on each side, and he can see what they're doing and kind of go with it. The problem is the Packers don't have the personnel to do that, to say just, hey, win your one-on-ones and timing and precision. Well, they don't have timing and precision because they're starting a rookie in Romeo Doubs and also some younger players with Christian Watson hasn't played much, but he's still, Lazard hasn't been in that role, Cobb, et cetera. So they're struggling with that stuff. And they don't have guys that can win their one-on-ones because that's not really what they're best suited as. Because, again, Dobbs, rookie, Lazard, Cobb, not exactly suited to do stuff like that. So he doesn't like the pre-snap motion. And the simplification, I mean, yeah, you've seen it. The Packers this year, they have yet to win the turnover battle. And they make way more like silly, stupid mistakes that you would never get. There's a game against Chicago where A.J. Dillon went the wrong way or Rodgers went the wrong way and they end up fumbling. Same game, Josh Myers snaps the ball basically on 1 and it should have been snapped on 2. Like maybe that's what he means, but they really do. Between LaFleur and Rodgers, they kind of have a very different approach to the way they want to ideally play offense. And that's been a struggle because when they've played offense the LaFleur way, so to speak, Rodgers won the MVP in 2020 and was the best quarterback in the NFL. Last year, won the MVP a little less LaFleur, a little more Rodgers, and I don't know if he was the best quarterback in the NFL, but I mean, he was still very much up there, obviously winning the league MVP. That's the struggle, is they're at their best when they do stuff the coach's way, but the quarterback is 19 years in, he makes $50 million and kind of has his own way of thinking as far as doing things. So where's that perfect marriage come in? The Packers better figure it out because otherwise this offense is going to flounder and they're going to continue to struggle.
So what do you think of, as Gus Bus is asking here, what do you think about our old defensive coordinator, now your defensive coordinator, Joe Barry?
Yeah, so the guys on the team think or speak very highly of him, which is cool. The players speak highly of him. We've had an opportunity on Game On Wisconsin to talk to like Kenny Clark and a few others, and they speak highly of him. And that matters to some degree, right? And execution ultimately matters more than the coaches. However, when they hired him, so they tried to hire Jim Leonard, the defensive coordinator from Wisconsin, who's now the head coach. He said no. And then LaFleur used to work with Joe Barry. And that felt like a panic hire. And you guys know, I mean, when he was in Washington, I don't think the defense ever finished above the bottom third of the league.
No, it was terrible.
And he was the architect of the famously 0-16 Detroit Lions defense, which finished 32nd in the NFL. And this Packers team, everybody was, looking at the season saying, well, they lost Devontae Adams, but their defense is going to be better. Like they've got, all these guys, and we'll talk about some of the guys they have on defense, but they've struggled, and they've struggled a lot with a lot of different things. Some of it is scheme stuff. I think I saw the other day when they run cover 4 and cover 6, they've given 27 passes, like 3 of them are incomplete, and the rest have been completed for like big yards and several touchdowns. I don't have the exact number off the top of my head on that. Some of it is, I think some of the guys that were talked about as these highly touted players that are really good haven't played as well, or they're not as good as we thought they were. Or we talked about, Devondre Campbell and Rasul Douglas, guys that had big years last year, not playing as well this year. So Barry hasn't done a good job, I don't believe, because they have struggled. And, each of the last 2 coordinators, there's always seemed to have been a stretch where Matt LaFleur has said, I talked to you, whether it was Barry or prior to him, Mike Pettin, about off coverage, being more aggressive, whatever the talking point was. And I said to myself one day, I was like, I would just like once maybe to see if LaFleur can hire a defensive coordinator he doesn't feel like he has to babysit. So I don't know if he has that, but it certainly feels that way. And it's not a good look when the head coach has to tell you like, hey, you've got these guys that have played really well. And you have Jair Alexander, who he's one of the guys that has played well on the defense. He's a guy who Sunday, and I don't understand why more D coordinators don't do this. I'm not a coach. They're smarter than I am, certainly. But I see Terry McLaurin on the other side. 23 is following him wherever he goes. I don't care where he's at on the field. That's how it should be. They don't do that. And you saw that week 1. Justin Jefferson, I think he just caught another pass against the defense because he's just continued to be that open. So it's been a struggle, and it's going to continue to be a struggle if they do things the way they have.
So while we're on defense, where can the Redskins exploit the defense in order to score a lot of points? And win
the who, Trav?
Sorry. Wow. The Commanders.
I was going to ask if people still do that.
We're still getting past that.
I understand, and I still struggle with it sometimes. I even called them the football team the other day. So they've had 3 names in 4 years or something like that. So I can't keep up either. To answer your question, running the ball, I know that's Bijan Robinson that's Texas. Brian Robinson. And then obviously Antonio Gibson. Both of those guys, well, Robinson didn't, but Gibson had a pretty decent game against Green Bay last year. Taylor Heinicke ran for almost 100 yards in Green Bay last year. Green Bay's
101, but okay.
his rush defense, the Green Bay's rush defense is terrible. And I don't have there is no excuses of, oh, they're playing light boxes or, oh, they're missing their defensive line. They're not good. And they haven't been good except for, they're like New England. They're playing New England at home a few weeks ago. And Bailey Zappi comes into the game, the third string quarterback. Now it looks like he's been better, maybe. But Brian Hoyer was playing before that. It's very obvious to the entire world that New England wants to run the ball, and they ran for 4.5 yards, 5 yards a crack. And that is, it's really hard because Green Bay's defense is built to rush the passer. Rashawn Gary, Preston Smith, Kenny Clark, those three guys can get after the quarterback. Devondre Campbell and Quay Walker are both kind of more coverage-oriented types. They want their DBs to be able to play, but Green Bay hasn't stopped the run. Like 2019, that NFC title game against the Niners where Raheem Mostert ran for 700 yards. That's what everyone points to. But they've really struggled for years. And some of that, I think, is just an organization mindset of oh, this doesn't matter. That's true. They did shut down Tampa's run game, but, we're 6 weeks in, they're 3-3. What does that mean? I don't know. And yeah, they haven't allowed a lot of passing yards in the NFL. Some of that might be because they like to run the ball against the team, which I could certainly understand that. Last week, the Jets, they had a 7-minute drive where they just bled the clock, and it was Breece Hall and Michael Carter again and again and again. So it's a lot of – yeah, so, something that they had a lot of success with Mike LaFleur, and I'm sure – I don't know who the offensive coordinator in Washington is now, admittedly.
We don't either. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
we don't talk about him around here. He's taboo.
Scott Turner, for the record, but yeah, he's not been having a good year, and this was the year he was supposed to flourish because he had a QB, but that's not quite what's happening here in Washington.
Unfortunately not then. But something the Jets did last week with Mike LaFleur was those 2 running back sets. Well, Washington certainly has the personnel to do that. I really like Antonio Gibson, and Robinson has been a good back for them. It's really great. Not even just I feel bad for him because it almost feels like everybody's like, oh, he got shot and he came back within 3 weeks of the season. It's no, he's actually a really good player too. It's not just a great story. But they got those 2 guys. McKissick's been a good pass catcher out of the backfield for them. I think they could attack Green Bay's defense that way with some of those 2 back. And the other thing about Green Bay's team is they're undisciplined. So misdirection, counters, trick plays, if you feel the need to do that. Zone reads. I think Heinicke broke one of those zone reads last year against them for a really long gain as well. So those are plays. The Packers, they really are. They're just – their defense is over-talented, overhyped, under-disciplined, and undercoached.
Something we got a dub coming on.
It does sound that way. Let's go ahead. We have a lot of people here are pretty happy with you so far, saying that you're a good guest. Don't break our hearts now. What's the outcome of this game Sunday against Green Bay here in Washington?
And I'm writing it down, so I'm going to hold you to it.
Sure. So, Green Bay had never lost, I should say, 2 games in a row under Matt LaFleur. And that obviously ended on Sunday when they lost to the Jets. To me, again, football is – everybody loves fantasy football, and they talk about receivers and tight ends and running backs and all that stuff. This is still a big man's football game, and it's played up front on both sides of the ball. And I think Washington has the advantage on both sides of the ball. And now, the other thing was if Carson Wentz played, maybe he has a propensity to turn the ball over. But Green Bay doesn't get any turnovers anyways. They have 1 interception. So Green Bay has played Kirk Cousins, Justin Fields, Bailey Zappi, Daniel Jones, Tom Brady playing with repairmen, and last week, Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson, yeah.
1 interception with Jair Alexander, Eric Stokes, and Rasul Douglas, all guys that should be getting their hands on the ball more. 1 interception in 6 games.
We have 2 in 6 games.
Yeah, we have 2.
We intercepted Trevor Lawrence on a pretty much whatever YOLO ball to end the game. And then 1 was just a freak accident because he threw it off of our defensive lineman's helmet straight up, and Jonathan Allen just happened to be there to catch it. So it's not like we were
I remember that. That's okay. Yeah, that was funny. Okay, so Green Bay's not getting any turnovers anyway, so I don't know how much that matters. Washington is willing to commit to their running game and run the ball, and probably more so with a backup quarterback in the game now. And Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen scare the ever-living piss out of me, especially with this isn't Josh Sitton and TJ Lang up front anymore. I know Montez Sweat's a good player that could potentially give their right tackle some troubles, whether that's Elton Jenkins or Zach Tom or whoever it is they decide to put out there. And Green Bay struggles to score points. So I like Washington.
This might be a boring game, you guys. This might be a Thursday night primetime game.
And that's what I'm thinking. It's like 14-10 Washington because
I
don't think either team
Jacob.
Yeah, I don't think either team could score a lot of points, and I think the team that's more committed to running the ball and actually does something maybe well is Washington with rushing the passer. But Green Bay right now, I don't know what they do well. Maybe I'm too down in the dumps because they lost a home game to a crappy Jets team, but they did.
All right. Well, Jake, we appreciate you coming on here, Jacob. Where can our viewers who enjoy your content, where can they go to see you?
Sure, you can find me on Twitter at Jacob Westendorf. I had a really long thread the other day for how I thought the Packers should have traded Aaron Rodgers at the end of last season, and that didn't go over very well, as you might imagine. But you can find me there. You can find me Game On Wisconsin at Game On WI, and we got something basically every single night. So a lot of people talking Washington Commanders this week.
Awesome.
Excellent. Make sure you head out there. Again, Jacob, thank you for joining us here on Ref the District. We will have to see from the DMV mess hall whether or not we can get you a mug. That might be in the works. We'll see.
I'll drink out of it. No
that's
problem.
Been our thing here lately is get our guest mugs.
Okay.
All right. Well, we appreciate you jumping on.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Have a good night and a horrible Sunday.
Yes. Same to you guys. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate Jacob coming on there. I'm going to move back into our positions here. Gentlemen, kind of got some good feelings from that.
I have good feelings from that, but I'm going to bring it down a notch because this is the perfect setup for a get-right game for Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it does. You know what I mean? They've lost 2 in a row. Is he going to lose 3 in a row? I mean, we give up explosive plays.
I'm with you, Trev. I got 2 words for you, Trev.
What?
2 words.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron.
Yeah, I know. And
yeah, I'm with you, Trev.
They do look poopy against these other teams, but
all those years you watch Aaron Rodgers in those press conferences, and he tells people, when they're on these little losing streaks or whatever, and he's always like, just chill out or whatever, relax. Yeah. Right. And he's always like, he will figure it out. And
I know.
And it's getting to that point of the season where he's going to figure it out. So
of course it's going to be against us here. And Authentic in the Beard with some good stats here during it. One of them, Green Bay, third down defense is is 7th.
They're the best.
The big one is the best third. Oh, okay. So they're the best third down defense. Reading is fundamental, folks. Green Bay, best third down defense versus Washington's 7th worst third down offense. So can Washington sustain drives will be the big question there. Another one from Authentic in the Beard. Again, make sure you check these guys out. Great guys. Great content. Green Bay likes to blitz too, 4th highest blitz percentage in the league in this offensive line. I know Jacob said that it was Washington has the advantage, but our offensive line has been pretty ugly at times.
Here's the thing. Here's the stat, and Authentic in the Beard, they give some really good deep stats, right? Some nerdy stats, which is great. This is pretty simple to me. Green Bay's pass defense that he talked about, he says pretty good. It's number 1. Okay, they have the number 1 pass defense in the league going up against Taylor Heinicke. Okay, don't throw the ball. Just don't throw the ball this game. Their rush defense is 27th in the league.
Run the damn
ball. As I think Authentic in the Beard have coined this phrase, RTTB, RTDB, run the damn ball.
Jen Leno wore a hat like that against the Bears.
Mm-hmm. I want to see minimum 35 rushes by this team. They have the horses, right? If Robinson's not doing it, you've got Gibson. If Gibson's not doing it, you've got Robinson. If neither one of them are doing it, you can run some plays for McKissick.
Yep.
Right? They have the horses to do this. Run the ball all game long. And that's how they won that. They had that 4-game winning streak last year, was they just started running the ball and eating that clock up. And they should have beat Green Bay last year if Taylor Heinicke had not slid at the half-yard line.
That's what scares me too. It makes me nervous about this game because I feel like Yeah, maybe his arm's gotten better. Maybe he can scramble and make something off script happen. But the mental part, is he going to make?
He's still Taylor Heinicke, right, Trev?
Yeah, is he still going to make the dumbass mistakes? Is like,
yes,
or
he is.
Still like going to be that he's smarter than the average bear. So
yes, he is going to. He's going to make some plays where you're going to say, well, that's why he's in there. And then he's going to make some plays where you're going to go, well, that's why he's a backup. You know what I mean? And we're just going to, it's going to be an up and down. It's going to be, he's going to understand the offense better. He's going to make those throws, those anticipatory throws, I guess they call them, right? When he's throwing to a spot where he knows a guy is eventually going to be
premeditated throws.
Yeah, right. He's going to be doing a lot of those. But he's going to have those outs, those out passes, those 15-yard outs where the receiver's just kind of standing there waiting for the ball to get there. Like, come on.
And here comes the ball.
And then here it goes. Yeah. Right. Little exaggeration. But you know what I mean? It's
yeah. And we all saw that at camp, right? Like it's not too much of a difference there. It's just noticeable. And that becomes a problem because the NFL is just too fast. So if you're a fraction slower than the others, you're going to get balls that are deflected and or taken away. So it is. 35 would be. I want well over 35 rushes for this.
Yeah,
I don't think it happens.
Minimum.
Yeah, I don't think it happens, but. It depends. This could be like the game against Tampa Bay last year where they just kept driving, right? You have 10-minute drives and, keep it low scoring, keep Green Bay off the field so it doesn't subject, this back seven to Aaron Rodgers and making mistakes. But that's what we want every game, and that just hasn't happened. And they just went 12-7 against a horrible Bears defense, which, by the way, the Bears were horrid rushing defense, and Washington could not move the ball against them. So what makes you think that Washington, not able to run the ball last week, runs the ball well against Green Bay this week?
I think we had that mini bye. I think that Thursday night game kind of played into the effect of us not being able to move the ball as well as we should have on Thursday. Coming because it's a short week, guys are probably tired. You know how it is. And then it was cold also in Chicago, which that could have an effect. It's starting to get cold. But I think that we've had extra time to practice, like that mini bye. We didn't play this past Sunday. We had a little extra few days. I think we can get back on track with the run game now that B-Rob has been back fully healthy now and not so much having to play on a fast pitch, no chance to really do the playbook or practice that much. Now he has a full week of practice under his belt and stuff like that. So I just think that a short week kind of played a part on that, and we should retaliate.
I think that's fair. I think all of those are good points. And then just to add to it, Taylor Heinicke is a threat to run.
Yeah.
He's doing some read options, which every team should have at least a few, unless you've got like a Tom Brady, right? If you have some read options in there and then he decides to take off, that's a whole different aspect of this offense than Carson Wentz. Nobody's afraid of Carson Wentz running. Okay. No. He might break out, and get, a first down here and there by running, but he's not athletic like Taylor Heinicke is.
No.
So that's going to help. That's going to help sustain drives like we've been talking about. He gets those first downs by using his legs. That's what makes him different than most other backup quarterbacks are his legs. So they have to use those legs, right? They have to install running plays into the offense so that he uses his legs, because otherwise he's just another backup noodle arm quarterback. But what makes him different are his legs. So they have to use that. And then that'll just open up other parts of the running game as well. And maybe the talk about moving Cosme into guard, I don't know if they're going to do that this week or if they're ever going to do that. But, you move him in there and you move Charles or Norwell out, and you leave Cornelius Lucas, who hasn't been graded real well, but at least he's not like showing up on the highlights for the other team.
The worst list, sure.
Right. Yeah. keep him over there at tackle and put Cosme inside their guard, especially with a busted hand. He's going to have a cast. So,
I don't necessarily think that you're going to see Cosme out at guard anytime soon, because I still believe that they want to see him develop as their future tackle.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're going to continue putting him in that situation when he's healthy. And so if you move him to guard, you kind of, undo some of that development. So I don't think they're going to see that.
Okay.
You mentioned he's kind of banged up here. I have the injury report in front of me. Lots of names here on the Washington side. We had a question, I think, from EP earlier. Is Jahan Dotson going to play? He was limited with a hamstring injury. I believe he will be out this game as well. Sam Cosme limited with a finger injury. Tariq Castro-Fields with a knee, limited with a knee. Percy Butler limited with a quad. Then you have a whole bunch of did not practice, DNPs, Jonathan Williams, Carson Wentz, Logan Thomas, William Jackson III, De'Ami Brown, and John Bates. Tight end 1 and tight end 2 are both out there. We got to see a little bit of Cole Turner this last time. Does Heinicke find Cole Turner in the middle of the field this game?
Yeah, hell yeah. That's what I was going to allude to. I think if we have to pass the ball, because I think it was Roger Smith said that running the ball, this is Scott Turner. We all know he hates doing that. Well, if he must pass the ball, I think this is run, play action, short 5-6 yard, dunk it down, passes, chop it down the field. Don't try and do bombs, because Taylor Heinicke cannot throw bombs. He has thrown bombs, and thank God we've had Terry McLaurin down there just to literally go up and get him out of the air, because if we didn't have that, they'd be picks all day. So I think if you must throw it, dink and dunk. Take layups, take little short mid-range jumpers, or get in the basketball. You know what I mean? Don't take any threes. We don't need any threes to win the game. Just run, play action, and then dink and dunk, chop it down the field, take some time off the clock. You don't have to score 40 points. If we just score a touchdown every possession, no matter how many we get, if we only get 3 possessions, let's score on each possession to make it look like we've had the ball for more than 3 possessions. So that's what I think. So then, yes, he will dunk it down to Cole Turner because it's Taylor Heinicke.
Well, that would be beneficial to.
I will give him that. He does go through his reads. Yeah, there were some plays where he's missed Terry, and so is Carson a lot. But you've seen Carson look here, and then run. You see him go through and then find someone last minute. So he does look through his reads, but
it's really simple. What I think separates him from being a big, a starting quarterback in this league. And you can talk all you want about how he strengthened his arm or whatever. I don't know. What is it? He did more curls or whatever in the off. I don't know. Yeah, they say it's his legs, because it's the core.
It's a full range of motion.
Yeah, but still, the difference is he would be a starting quarterback if he had the arm. He just doesn't have the arm, and he's not going to develop an arm overnight. This weekend, to where he's just going to start making all these rocket throws. He can make that throw like he made in the preseason to Cam Sims for that touchdown, that 15-yarder, mini slant, whatever that is, and he can rocket it in there. But that's it. He can't make the 20-yard out. I mean, he can make it, but he can't make it effectively. He can't make it to where you've got NFL corners over there feasting on that, waiting for that lollipop to come through and just jump on it. I mean, we saw that last week with Cooper Rush. Right, yeah. Cooper Rush was getting away with everything, and then he just started throwing those outs to good corners, and they started eating it up. Same thing with Taylor Heinicke; they'll eat those plays up. Can't have those plays. Keep them short, and then YOLO when you're down 17-10 with a minute to go, just YOLO it into the end zone.
He's discount Chad Pennington, right?
Yeah. He doesn't even have Pennington's arm. I don't think. No, he's got Cooper Rush's arm. That's what he's got.
He does.
I mean, that's just it is what it is. Yeah. Otherwise, he'd be making $25 million a year and starting somewhere.
That's fair. We'll see how he does here against Green Bay. Green Bay has quite a interesting list on their side for the injury report, to include did not practice for Aaron Rodgers with a right thumb. Kind of he's interesting playing there. Yeah, he will play. Of course he's going to play. But his right thumb injury, maybe that plays into it a little bit. You had Christian Watson, that new fancy wide receiver, did not play out with a hamstring. Randall Cobb did not play with an ankle injury. You have 3 linemen on this list One did not practice, and Jake Hansen, who's a center guard, and then Bakhtari and Jenkins, both limited with knee injuries.
Yeah, those two are starters, I believe, Jenkins and Bakhtiari.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. Cobb's definitely
not playing.
You heard that from Jacob. He's going to miss this game.
Yeah, he's got a hammy.
He did not practice, and I imagine if he does not practice tomorrow, I would not expect Watson to come into this game.
All right,
he didn't play this game either.
Put 4 guys on Valdez. Who's their?
He's not there anymore.
Yeah,
who's their number 1 guy?
Alan Lazard.
Lazard.
Sorry, yeah, not Valdez. Valdez is in wherever he is now. Yeah, you're right. Put 4 guys around him. All right, and then single coverage everywhere else, and you'll do fine. There you go.
Get Aaron Rodgers. If we just go get Aaron Rodgers,
look, you can get to Aaron Rodgers with those 4.
Yeah,
I don't think they need to blitz. Okay,
no.
They've got a weak offensive line.
Yes.
Right, an injured offensive line.
Yes,
and they're no good anyway. We've got 2 of the best tackles in the game, and you've got Montez Sweat, who's coming off the best 2-game stretch of his entire career. Right? Don't blitz.
I would still blitz.
Back.
Send Jamin Davis up there. I would love to see him.
Send Cole Holcomb because he's not that great in coverage. I take him.
Okay.
To carry. Jamin Davis can cover Aaron Jones out of the backfield.
There you go. But give him some help. Give Jamin Davis some help. Put 2 guys on Aaron Jones. 4 guys.
Block it, baby.
4 guys on that receiver, Lazard, and then everyone else can get one-on-one and rush for it. So that's 4, 5, 6. Yeah, perfect. No problem.
This is definitely a winnable game, though. For real, I really
It's
do.
It's a winnable game.
We're 2-4, and I've watched every game. And if we take bits and pieces from every game and put it together on Sunday, we gotta treat Sunday like it's a Super Bowl. We can't. This is another game where we can't listen to stats. We can't listen to the injury report. You just gotta watch the tape and go get this dude. Just go after Aaron Rodgers and put him on the ground, and we'll be fine. He doesn't have any receivers to bail him out. He doesn't have any running backs to bail him out. So just go get him, and we'll be fine.
It'll be interesting to see. Of course, you can watch the game with us. We'll be having our live stream. Stoner and Trev will be holding down the fort on that. EP and I will be at the game. I will probably be rocking this jersey. Keep that same energy with 93 here, hoping for a victory. Stoners doesn't seem like he's going to pick Washington. Trev seems like he's leaning Washington. Let us know where you're at in the chat, because when we come back after this from our sponsors, I want to see these game scores.
The Cool Down is brought to you by Manscaped. Ever since my Nathan started using their products, I can't cool down. Fellas, trust me. Go to Manscaped right now and get 20% off and free shipping by using the code REF. Your ladies will appreciate you. Now back to Trev, Stoner, and my Manscaped man.
I love that. And EP even came in there when she said she was late. I was putting up Nathan's Manscaped underwear and hit the pitch for us on that one when she popped in.
What'd you cut it off for? That was the best part.
I didn't cut it off. It cut off itself.
It did?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought.
Pretty sure it did. If I did cut it off, someone replay the tape for me. Let me know. But it was unintentional in that regard. So I also had something I wanted to touch real quick here. Rockman, Nathan, the History 101 series was really good. I enjoyed the series. For those who did not see my tweet, you can catch me on Netflix. Apparently, there's a small clip about 16 minutes into the 7th episode on lasers. Where they took a bit of one of my older reports that I'm in uniform for and used it. So pretty cool. You can find me on Netflix. Of course, you can always find me here on our YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. We appreciate all the support coming to us.
Don't leave us, Nathan, for Netflix.
No, not yet. But I do need to update my IMDb page, apparently. Let's get to these games. I don't have any game scores in the chat right now. If you're listening, make sure we got more than 30 people listening right now. Get in there, get those game scores. We're gonna go Stoner because he seems like he is against Washington on this one. So I want to see what's your score.
Let's not get carried away. We do this every time, every week. We start building ourselves up, what our team can do and what we hope we're gonna do, and then we look at all the weaknesses of the opponent and how we can exploit them and everything. But, I mean, just look at it from afar. Aaron Rodgers, Taylor Heinicke. Okay? It really is that simple. Okay? You can do some things to Aaron Rodgers to help this team out, right? And Taylor Heinicke can do some things to help Washington's offense out. But in the end, Aaron Rodgers is a much better quarterback, obviously. And in this is a quarterback league. Yes, things happen up front, and that's in the trenches, and that's how games are won and lost. But in the end, when you don't have those things, you rely on that quarterback to overcome, and Aaron Rodgers knows how to do that, and he will do that. So in the end, I think Aaron Rodgers beats Washington 27-21. There you go.
That's a pretty lofty score, given Rodgers coming off of a 10-point outing and Washington not scoring very well.
Yeah, Washington's pass defense is 15th, and their rushing defense is 25th. So overall, the defense is 18th. It's less. It's on the bottom half of the rankings. Washington's defense is not that great, and Green Bay's offense, I understand they're not that great either, but it's Aaron freaking Rodgers.
That's fair. You have Roger Smith with you on this one, 24-10.
Yeah.
Packers. John Rassel as well, 27-24 Packers. But the rest seem pretty positive here. And Trev, you lean on that side, right? You're going with the Commanders this week.
No.
Come on, Trev, come on over to the dark side, buddy. You want to.
We are more than capable of winning this game, like I said earlier in all show. Aaron Rodgers has been struggling, but he doesn't lose 3 in a row. We are the team that other quarterbacks are slumping. They get right against us. Justin Fields almost did it on Thursday. Thank gosh he didn't, but he literally almost did on Thursday. So, like you said, Stoner, it's Aaron Rodgers versus Taylor Heinicke. Aaron Rodgers is pissed off. Mm-hmm. And you know what happens when Aaron Rodgers is pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
Lights out. But I still think he doesn't have the receiver help that he could do damage with, that he should do. So I'm still going to go Packers, though, 27-19.
27-19 Green Bay.
Man. Appreciate the donation here from Eric, another $4.99. We appreciate you. It may come down to Joey Sly, and that doesn't make me feel confident. And that's kind of where I'm at with this one. Is I do think that it's going to be a little bit of a closer game. Washington will again have a chance to win this, but I also have to agree. I think Green Bay is going to take this one down. I'm going to go 14-7 as my score with Green Bay. I think it's lower, and I think
defense. They're only going to score 7.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I mean, they scored 12 against the Bears. The Bears are not as good in pass defense and just as bad in the run defense. And Washington struggled to move the ball. And until Washington shows me otherwise, I can't. I know they won this last week, and I will be there cheering on a victory with the keep that same energy.
Sure.
But right now, I need to see some consistency with the offense, and that's what they need to do to win this game.
Hope I'm wrong. I hope everybody comes Monday. They can make fun of me and tell me I'm stupid and I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. I hope that's the case. Trust me.
We already got DMV Mess Hall saying, "Can Jacob come back and host Ref the District?"
DMV Mess Hall, since you love him so much, just try to be a cheesehead, bro.
Well, Jacob had better things to say about our team than we do right now.
That's true.
EP's given up my seat already. She's like, "I have a ticket available for Sunday." Nathan's no longer invited. All 3 of us bona fide. I know it's rough, but hey, We would love to be wrong. I'm telling you, we'd love
I am doing
nothing
the
more
same
to
ritual
be wrong.
though. Last week I didn't wear any gear and we won. Stoner called me out for giving money to the dark cloud, and I don't want to do that, so I took it off. So I put this on. So I'm going with that.
All right.
But
that's good. We do have a lot of people picking Washington for this one.
Good.
35-14 from Redskins 007. Doug with 24-20 Washington. Rail 24-14. Bonafide wants to say 3-2 again, but going to be realistic this week. 8-5 for Bonafide picker. EP is going to go 14-8 Washington, kind of flipping my score on the head there. Gregory, love to see it. 24-20 Washington rocking it out with, again, love nothing more. 34-7 from the Bearded Wonder. We got the Skin Tangibles with the OG DMV. We're going to get to that Montez 3 sacks, definitely. Caleb 14-7 Washington. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be interesting. Fundamental Tennis 24-21 Green Bay, but says go Washington. DMV Mess Hall 24-13. Shadow Pop 27-19 Washington. OG DMV. What do you think, Stoner? Heinicke throws more than 250 yards. You gonna get a Heinicke jersey?
No.
Yes.
No.
He's not throwing for more than 250 against the number one pass.
That is better than any dollar bet we've ever done.
I will buy it and I will happily wear it because he's not throwing for more than 250 against the number one pass defense.
I'll give you. You already have my Zelle information. I'll stop by the store on the way out, or as soon as he throws 251, I'm gonna go hit up the store and get you a Taylor Heinicke jersey there. Steady Eddie 2110 Commanders. I like that one. That one's spicy.
This is set up. I mean, he could do it if we dink and dunk and slants and screens and short passes and a lot of yak, bro.
Bonafide, I'm going to hold Stoner to this one.
2 touchdowns and 2 picks. He could do that easily. He's done it before.
Hey,
let me actually check that. Actually, how many times has he thrown over 250 yards here?
Okay, go ahead and pull that up.
I'm going to pull it up.
I remember game 1 against the Chargers. I think he had over 300.
Yeah, he had a streak there where he had more than 300 yards, and at the beginning of last season, where I thought like we were going to hit.
I'll say 8 of his 15 starts. I think he had 15 starts. I would say that he had 8 over 250. I mean, that's not a huge number. Come on, 250 is not that difficult.
Yes, it is. Who was that? Who just threw? Hold on. It was the game was on TV. Somebody just threw the ball 57 times for Justin Herbert. Monday night. 238 yards. He threw the ball almost 60 times, no touchdowns. It's definitely possible.
Yeah, I know it's possible, but
that's your boy who did that. Your boy did that.
I love
the number him. 2 himself.
I love him.
He would have taken instead of Chase. Barely 250 almost.
You would have too.
All right, Nathan, what is it?
Not counting the first game of last year. Okay.
Wait.
Because he only played 2.5 quarters. Okay. How many? So in 16 games, how many?
Well, no, because he didn't play the other one. He had the
that's right. So game. So 15 games out of 15 games, how many of those do you think he threw for 250 yards?
11 of them.
No, I said 8.
You guys are both over. It was 5 games.
5 over 250?
5 over 250. Against the Giants, he threw 336. Against Atlanta, 290. 268 against Green Bay last year. 270 against Denver. 256 against Tampa, and then he never hit the mark again.
That's it, bro. He took that bet already. Stoner, it's possible.
I'm still mad at him for sliding at the half-yard line in that game.
And then did a Lambeau leap afterwards.
Yeah.
Dummy.
And then it wasn't. Not only was it not a touchdown, but we didn't score on that drive either.
I'm really not looking forward to rooting for a Taylor Heinicke-led football team. Like, I'm really not looking forward to that for the next 4 games. So,
yeah, but it's I mean, like we said, if he balls out for 4 games, then
you bring Carson back. You bring Carson back in.
I don't think so, man.
I ain't paying $28 million to sit on the bench, dog. We didn't do that. We did not. If we wanted to make Taylor the starting quarterback, why the hell we go get Carson Wentz then? No. Put Carson Wentz in, let us see what he does, and then cut him at the end of the season if you really want him to be there. But let the man.
You also can't risk that second round pick.
You're where you want it. You're where you're wanted. Now let's show them that you. And plus, it's also, you know how we are. Some kind of like third round or second round compensatory pick is involved if he doesn't play 70% of the. So I mean, there's some. He's going to play after 4 weeks. It is what it is. Sorry, but.
Oh. I mean,
we'll see. That one's. I thought that was pretty interesting there. Like I said, he hasn't thrown for 250 since week 9 of last year. So like he's and most of those games were in favor. Now there were a few games that he got pretty close. He was at 247 against Philadelphia in week 16. And he was at 248 against New Orleans back in week 5. So
Heinicke jersey, bro.
I
feel so bad for you. I feel so bad. He's going to hang it proudly right next to his RG3 jersey. Who else do you have? You don't have a John Beck jersey?
No, I have Mark Brunell.
There you go.
Brunell. I have Sean Taylor, Mark Brunell, and RG3. Those are my 3 jerseys. I think I need to update it maybe a little bit.
Who's worth getting nowadays with 2 and 4?
Well, I mean, I'd get McLaurin, I'd get Dotson, I'd get Allen, I would get Curl. Curl would be my number 1.
Still,
I'd get any of those guys for sure. But
instead, you got to get a Heinicke jersey.
I wasn't gonna get football team gear. I wasn't gonna spend it because I knew it was temporary. So why am I gonna get a jersey, football team jersey? So
because they were still the Redskins jersey. The only thing that changed was it said Washington.
Yeah. It
didn't say football team. It said Washington.
Know,
so that's what I liked about it because I knew they were going to keep Washington. It was clean. So I'm okay with this Washington football team jersey hanging up here. All right, and I'm okay with that one. That's also a Washington football team. I think that one might be a Redskin one. I'll have to double check.
He ain't done nothing all year, so hopefully he can do something.
I fear, unfortunately, Terry McLaurin's going to have a down game again. And that's why don't we go ahead and get into some dollar real quick here. We had one earlier.
Dollar. I'm gonna do a few.
3 sacks for Montez Sweat.
Yeah,
you guys. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no as well.
I would give huge odds on that. I'd give you 10-1 odds, or you know what I mean.
I think Montez Sweat will have 3 sacks on Sunday.
So, Trev, I'm not even writing it down. I'm not even going to write it down.
Write it down, Stoner. You gave him 10-1 odds.
No, I'm not really giving him.
Give him 10. The man is down big. Give him the chance.
I'm not giving him 10 units. No.
He's going to have 3 sacks Sunday.
He's not going to have 3 sacks.
Yeah, I'm with Stoner on this one. I don't think he's going to have 3 sacks. I do think Washington gets to Aaron Rodgers no less than 5 times.
So that means
5 sacks,
at least 5 sacks.
Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, and the rest.
Okay, I'll take the under on that.
I'm with
Trev.
You. I'm with
You're
you.
with me. All right.
We
makes me feel a little less good because your track record right now is not going well.
Like 3rd or 4th or 5th in the league in sacks or something like that so far.
Who Washington is as a team? I'm not sure about that. I mean, I think they're pretty high.
Yeah, I can look it up here real quick. Caleb asks us, would you all pick Washington if Aaron did not play? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
No, I'm still picking Jordan Love.
No, I would pick Washington.
I really think, and I kind of said this with the donation one there. I think Joey Sly's going to miss a couple kicks. I'm not gonna put a dollar on 2. I'm gonna say he misses 1 kick, misses 1 field goal.
Oh, that's not.
Well, I'm not giving you a dollar, Stoner, because he's not going to miss 2 kicks.
But I mean, 1 is just so pedestrian. It's like the one time when you said Montez Sweat will have at least a half a sack. I think that's what you said. I mean, come on. That's not a real bet. You got a dollar is like you gotta give something, not like, Terry McLaurin's going to have at least 2 catches.
Well,
I mean, everyone's going to say, of course, he's going to have at least 2 catches. Or Taylor Heinicke will throw at least 5 passes this game. Who wants it? Anybody?
I got one.
Yeah, I tried.
I got one. I got one. Taylor Heinicke will throw 3 interceptions on Sunday.
Come on, Trev.
That ain't happening.
No. I feel bad for you, Trev.
Let him do it. Let him do it. This is comical at this point.
He won't throw 3. One's going to be a tipped interception too.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to hold you to that one.
Oh,
he's not throwing
that's
3.
Where your line is drawn.
Yeah. Well, he already gave us the 3. Let's not necessarily.
Why won't he? Cooper Rush threw 3. Why can't Taylor Heinicke throw 3?
Oh, he can, but I just don't think he will. Not in his first game. He's not going to be out there slinging the ball.
Are you kidding me? Taylor been waiting on this, and it's against Green Bay again. He's been waiting on this. He gonna ball out, or at least try to.
So by the way, to answer your question as far as where Washington stands in the ranking for sacks, is they're tied for 4th with 19. You have Dallas with 24, the 49ers with 23, the Buccaneers at 21, and then Bills, Broncos, Commanders all have 19.
Ooh, with the Bills?
I think the Bills.
You guys.
I think the Bills have the number 1 offense and the number 1 defense right now. I mean, I'm so glad we're not playing them this year.
Yeah, the Bills are really good. We have a couple of Turner score actions in here. We have Turner scores his first touchdown. We also have Cole Turner with 2 touchdowns.
Wow.
I'm not going to touch the 2 touchdowns. I don't.
Will you touch the 1?
I think.
I don't think he gets his first touchdown.
I don't think he does either.
I think Terry McLaurin scores a touchdown.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'm Terry McLaurin.
Taylor loves Terry.
He does. I'm with you, Trev. I think McLaurin gets a touchdown. How many does he have, by the way?
1.
He's got 1 this whole year.
Yeah, it's like 327 yards total.
Yeah. Oh, but he's a top.
Yep.
Come on, I told y'all he's not a top 10er.
I have now jumped a little bit to that side. I'm sorry, but I have.
Yeah, I mean,
he's been
common sense.
Locked down, not looked at, not targeted.
All right, who wants that? McLaurin scores a touchdown.
Nathan said,
"No, I'm not. I don't think he scores a touchdown."
All right. You want the action?
Yeah, I'll take the action. The action. However, for saying my man Terry McLaurin's not a top receiver, I'm going to do the show by myself. Absolutely get out of here with that one. No, we got to bring the guys back here a little bit.
He's
not. I'll say this. I'll still take him top 15, but top 10 I think is a bit of.
Yeah, he's top 15. He's just not top 10.
Is it top 15?
Yeah, he's definitely top 15.
Ooh, Caleb with one here that I find very, very spicy. Curtis, Samuel Curtis getting a rushing touchdown. I do think that the scores come on the ground. I think that I do. Taylor Heinicke might throw 1, but I'm gonna, so I won't necessarily bet that. But I think it's gonna be, they're gonna try to run this on the ground. Maybe B Rob gets his 2nd touchdown. You guys liking any of these?
Yeah, I think B Rob will break it. B Rob's going to break it and go the distance. But Curtis Samuel ain't getting no touches because of that abomination of a performance on Thursday. He ain't getting no looks this week.
So you said Heinicke's going to have a passing touchdown.
Yep.
Who's he going to throw it to?
McLaurin.
I think that I personally think that the scores are going to come on like my score prediction, the 14-7.
Yeah, you only got one score.
That score is going to come on the ground, but I'm not willing to put money on a specific. But if I had to say if one person's scoring, I'm going to go with Gibson.
Yeah, I think he scores too.
Trav, are you going to take that action?
I don't think
Gibson anytime touchdown. All right,
I'm writing it down.
Roger. I'm taking the over on 20 run plays here, Roger.
Yeah.
Roger's taking the under. Trev, over under 20 run plays.
It is Scott Turner and Taylor Heinicke does like to.
I think I would even be willing to go 35.
35? Ooh.
Yeah. They'll have at least
35, I think, is too high.
20 is a good under 20? Nah, he'll call more than 20.
Yeah.
He's going to call more than 20. How about 35, Trev?
35.
It'll be less than 35.
Okay.
It'll look like 35 because of broken plays, but it's not going to be.
I'm saying 35 rushes.
Like
I'm not saying 35.
The box score.
Plays.
Yeah, box score counts 35 rushes.
Yeah. Who wants some of that action?
I mean, they could split that between Gibby and B-Rob easily.
They're going to run the ball a lot.
They're going to run the ball a lot.
Y'all said that about Chicago, I think, too.
You're not wrong.
And we didn't run the ball that much because we didn't even use Gibby that much in the first half.
Number one pass.
Yeah, 3 carries in the first half. Number one passing defense.
That's why they're going to run the ball more.
Is there a way that you can look up their passing defense last year?
I could. I'm not going to, but I probably could.
They were almost 300 against that whatever pass defense it was last year.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm not going to touch the 35. Trevor, you on that?
No, that's too dicey. I'm broke.
All right. We got another donation here from Eric. We appreciate this. Against Green Bay, what's more likely, the Turner score or the sly miss? I'm going with the sly miss.
Is more likely.
I'm going to say Turner score.
How about this? I'll take that. I'll spice this a little bit, right?
Okay.
Turner doesn't score, Sly doesn't miss. Both of these things have to happen. That's a good one. Turner does not
a little
score.
Parlay action in the middle
and Sly doesn't miss. So if one or the other happens, if Turner scores or Sly misses,
I'll go with you on this. Well, don't we already have a Sly miss on there?
No, we never consummated anything.
And didn't do the Turner score.
No, we did not do a Turner score either.
Okay,
all right, then I'll take this one because I think, like I said, I think Joey Sly misses one.
Stoner is.
I'm with you on Turner. I don't think that he scores.
Score.
Well, no, you
Trav,
can't.
already said Turner scores, so
I can score.
yeah. All you need is for me to be right about Joey Sly missing. Even if Turner doesn't score, you get the dollar because it's a twofer. It's a parlay. He's got to hit both of these legs here. We got some individual.
Which
picks.
way did you go, Trev?
He's with me. He's with me.
He's with you.
St. Juice, Jamin Davis. Who's going to get a pick against Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah,
I don't think Aaron Rodgers throws a pick. I just don't think this defense is set for it. So
Washington is last, second to the last in turnover differential at -5, but Green Bay's right there, -4 in turnover differential. So defensive touchdown not happening.
No defensive touchdown. No. Yeah, got to get a turnover for that to happen. Not likely to come in there. Last one here from the comment section, unless we get some good ones here. Green Bay under 80 yards rushing.
I'll take that. I think I'm with him on that one.
You're with OG?
Yeah.
Green Bay under 80 yards.
Henry.
I mean, I'll take that bet. I think they get over 80.
You think they get over 80?
Yeah.
Let me provide you some stats real quick here.
I got them right here. What you want?
Green Bay's rushing stats.
122 yards a game.
Oh, snap.
Washington averages giving up 131.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, they've given up a lot of those
rush
those
defense
bad, big runs
in the league.
Yeah, I'm going to go over 80.
Wait, what did he say?
He said 80 yards.
Oh yeah, Trev said Green Bay.
Yeah, he's with OG DMV. He's saying that they're going to be held to. I'll give him 80. Give him 80 or under. All right, give him that extra one there, and then we'll take the over 80.
Yeah, they'll get over 100 probably.
Yeah, Bonafide, we disagree with you here. I don't think Rodgers throws 2 picks.
No, I don't think he throws any.
Packer first touchdown on Fuller. I think that's pretty much a guaranteed. If there's a way to actually put money on it, this is one that you probably want to put money on. Heinicke rushes for 100 yards.
Yeah, that's not happening.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
Don't think it's going to happen. All right. The comedian saying that Washington will make Aaron Rodgers look like he's still in his prime.
I agree.
DMV Mess Hall. This is the last one. The DMV Mess Hall. Dollar says we see Jordan Love in the game
Sunday. He played last game when they were losing.
Mm-hmm.
How about this though? I mean, it's not fair. Like if Aaron Rodgers is ruled out by injury, you know what I mean? But
so
if
Aaron Rodgers plays,
yeah, you're not going to see Jordan Love.
You're not going to see Jordan Love.
No.
Yeah,
nope.
we're not going to take it. That was a pretty good one. We'll see how the game goes. Of course, like I said, you can catch it live with us, Stoner and Trev, holding down the fort on the live stream right here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Of course, we stream live every Wednesday here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. You can catch us at 7:30, and then we bring you the day after Reckoning, which DMV Mess Hall. It is going to be back on Monday because they're playing on Sunday. This last week, we had a very, very busy week. Had some good content this week as well as we pushed out the Wizards season preview. You can catch that on our YouTube channel. Some great conversations with JP Flame and Ben Mahich from Bullets Forever. Had some good conversations, maybe not as optimistic as you might want for us to be with the Washington Wizards, but we'll see how the season plays out. Lots of time left for that. Make sure you check that out. Like it, especially if you want to see more Wizards content. If you want to see Caps content, we provided that the week before. We need to see some action on that so that way we know to produce more of that content. We have some planned anyways, but love to see you getting in there and interacting with us because we will definitely be interacting with you as this goes along. Make sure you check out our sponsors, Pacers Running. For every run, Skybar. Check out Trev in person. And of course, manscaped.com. Use the code REF. It's REF for 20% discount and free shipping on your orders. And yeah, absolutely. Come looking for me. I'm going to be on the club level as well. We're in section 315. So right there by the thing. So make sure you check me out. Message, send us a DM or something like that. And we'll try to hook up at the game. I'll be there with EP. And until next time.
Go Commanders.
Be a fan.